Starting your kratom journey doesn't need to be complicated, but it does need to be intentional. This chapter is your step-by-step playbook for how to try kratom for the first time, set expectations, monitor effects, and find a sustainable rhythm that works for your lifestyle. The low and slow approach. The number one rule for beginners is simple. Start low and go slow. Kratom affects everyone differently, and taking too much too soon is the most common mistake first-timers make. Your first goal is not to feel everything, it's to feel enough to understand how your body responds. A good starting dose is 1 to 1.5 grams of plain leaf kratom powder, or the equivalent in capsules. Wait at least 60 to 90 minutes before deciding whether to take more. For most people, this is sufficient to feel mild effects without overwhelming the system. Measuring dosage. Properly use a digital milligram scale, not a spoon or your fingers. A tablespoon or teaspoon can vary greatly in weight, depending on the grind and moisture content. An accurate scale ensures you know what you're taking. Here's a rough guideline for plain leaf powder: 1 to 2 grams. Light, introductory effects, 2 to 4 grams. Moderate effects, typical functional range, 4 to 6 grams. Stronger effects, not recommended for beginners, 6+ grams. High doses, reserved for experienced users, if at all. Stick with 1 to 2 grams for at least the first 3 to 5 sessions. Track your experience in a notebook. Strain, dose, time taken, how you felt after 30 minutes, 1 hour, 3 hours, etc. Methods of taking kratom. Each method has pros and cons. Start with what feels most manageable. Capsules, easiest to take, no taste, slower onset, 30-45 minutes. Toss and wash. Powder placed on the tongue and swallowed with water. Quick onset but bitter. Tea. Brew 1-2 grams in hot water for 10-15 minutes, then strain. Smooth and gentle. Mix with juice or yogurt. Hides taste, but be mindful of sugar or acidity. Avoid mixing kratom with alcohol or medications. Also, don't combine it with stimulants or depressants, especially on your first few tries. Morning versus evening. Use. Time of day makes a big difference. Morning or midday use, especially for white or green strains, may enhance productivity and focus. Evening use, typically with red strains, may support relaxation or transition into a calm night. Avoid taking kratom too close to bedtime when experimenting until you know how your body reacts. Some strains can energize, others may promote calm, but responses are unique. The Beginner 7-Day Protocol. Here's a simple week-long protocol to help you explore safely. Day 1. Take 1 gram of green strain in the morning. Journal your experience. Avoid redosing. Day 2. Take 1.5 grams of the same strain, ideally at the same time of day. Track again. Day 3. Rest day. No kratom. Observe energy and clarity levels. Day 4. Try a red strain in the evening, 1.5 grams. Reflect on how it affects your calm or sleep. Day 5. Take 1.5 to 2 grams of the original green strain, 90 minutes before a task that requires focus. Day 6. Rest day. Hydrate well. Observe any cravings or urges. Healthy check-in. Day 7. Choose either green or red, depending on your needs. Stay at or under 2 grams. By the end of the week, you'll have a much better understanding of how kratom works for you. Key tips for first-timers: hydrate before and after. Dehydration is a common side effect. Don't take kratom daily at first. Use breaks to check for tolerance. Be present. Don't mix with intense stimulation, loud music, crowded spaces, until you know how it feels. Don't rush effects. Kratom isn't instant. Give it time to unfold. Eat lightly beforehand. An empty stomach may intensify effects, but don't take kratom on a full meal. Tracking and adjusting. Keep a simple log of each session. Strain name and vein color. Dose, exact grams. Time taken, method used, capsule, tea, etc. How you felt after 30, 60, and 120 minutes. How long effects lasted. Whether you slept well or noticed any next day effects. This journal becomes your best tool. It helps you refine your dose, discover your preferred strains, and notice early signs of tolerance or overuse. when to re-evaluate or stop. If you experience nausea, dizziness, fatigue, or emotional unease, stop and take a few days off. Re-evaluate your dose, method, or even whether kratom is right for your body at all. Likewise, if you notice that you're thinking about kratom frequently or planning your day around your next use, it's time to step back. Kratom should support your life, not take over it. In the next chapter, we'll look at how kratom can be thoughtfully integrated into a long-term lifestyle and paired with other wellness habits, routines, and intentions. Kratom is more than a substance, it's a tool. When used with purpose, it becomes part of a lifestyle built around clarity, balance, and intention. In this chapter, we explore how kratom can be integrated into daily life, not as a crutch, but as a complement to your personal wellness journey. Intentional use, the power of why. Every time you reach for kratom, it helps to ask, why am I taking this? Is it to manage energy levels during a long day? To ease tension after a workout? To help unwind before sleep? By identifying your intention, you begin to create a relationship with kratom that's thoughtful, not reactive. Intentional use also helps prevent overuse. When kratom becomes a response to every stress or challenge, it can lose its power and presence. Used mindfully, it stays effective and valuable. Rituals that ground. Many users find that incorporating kratom into simple daily rituals strengthens its benefit. For example, morning. Begin the day with hydration, light movement, and a small dose of green or white kratom to enhance focus. Midday, reset. Take a short walk, then a microdose to support clarity and productivity. Evening wind down. Pair red kratom with tea, breath work, or a gratitude journal to transition into rest. Kratom can amplify the effects of already beneficial habits. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Better. Pairing kratom with movement. Whether you enjoy yoga, weightlifting, martial arts, or long walks, kratom can support physical routines. Green and white strains may help you get started when motivation is low, while red strains can be part of post-workout recovery. Some examples. Before a workout, take 1.52 grams of white or green vein kratom 45 minutes before exercise. After exercise, use a red strain to relax muscles and ease tension, ideally in tea form for a slower release. Mental focus and creative flow. For writers, artists, designers, or entrepreneurs, kratom has become a way to enter creative flow states. When paired with ambient music, aromatherapy, or quiet environments, kratom may increase the ability to concentrate deeply for extended periods. Try this protocol: 1.5 grams of green kratom. Set a 90-minute timer, Pomodoro-style session. Turn off notifications. Commit to single-task focus. The goal isn't perfection, it's presence. Kratom doesn't replace discipline, but it can help you tap into it more easily. Kratom and mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't just meditation, it's presence in whatever you're doing. Many users report that kratom helps them feel more present during nature walks, journaling, meditation or breath work, gentle stretching or self-massage, creative brainstorming. Use these moments as a way to reset. Let kratom support the slowing down, not distract from it. Respecting boundaries, when to pause. Even in a well-integrated lifestyle, it's essential to maintain healthy boundaries with kratom. Take 1-2 rest days per week. Reassess dosage monthly. Check in with your goals. Is kratom helping or hiding something? Don't let it become the default response to boredom, stress, or discomfort. The healthiest users know when to not take kratom. This discipline protects the integrity of the practice and ensures that when you do take it, it works. Real stories of integration. Maya, 44, uses kratom before morning walks and planning sessions. She says, "It's like my body and mind finally get into the same rhythm." James, 29, pairs microdoses with deep work sessions. Kratom helps me cut through noise. I finish projects I used to dread. Leo, 56, takes red kratom on Fridays to ease into his weekend mindset. I let go of the work week stress without needing a drink. Combining kratom with other wellness practices. Kratom works best as one piece in a bigger system of well-being. Here's how it integrates with other practices. Nutrition. Eat nourishing meals to support energy, especially when using energizing strains. Hydration. Drink plenty of water daily. Kratom can be drying. Sleep hygiene. Use red kratom 2 to 3 hours before bed, not right before. Mental health. Use journaling, therapy, or community connection alongside kratom, not as a replacement. Sustainability and your supply. Supporting sustainable, ethical kratom farming helps protect the future of this plant. Choose vendors that support small farms or cooperatives, share harvest and sourcing details, use sustainable farming practices. This not only ensures a cleaner product, it helps communities who've cared for this plant for generations. Your lifestyle, your rules. Kratom doesn't define you. It doesn't make you healthier, smarter, or more grounded. You do that. But it can be a powerful tool in your hands. If you use it with awareness, let it be part of your larger journey. Let it support your discipline, amplify your creativity, and soften the edges when you need a gentle shift. Use it as a tool to return to yourself, not escape from yourself. In the next chapter, we'll take a closer look at the legal landscape surrounding kratom, where it's allowed, where it's restricted, and how advocacy efforts are shaping its future. Understanding the legal status of kratom is crucial for anyone who uses, sells, or advocates for it. While kratom remains legal in many regions, its status varies widely and can shift quickly. In this chapter, we'll break down what you need to know about kratom law, the forces behind regulation, and how to stay informed and proactive. Global legal overview. Across the globe, kratom's legal status reflects a wide spectrum of attitudes, from full bans to official recognition as a traditional medicine. Thailand. Once banned under narcotics law, kratom was decriminalized in 2021, and traditional use has been embraced once again. Malaysia. Kratom remains technically illegal under the Poisons Act, although its use continues in rural areas. Indonesia, a key exporter of kratom, though the government has announced plans to regulate or potentially restrict exports in the coming years. Australia and New Zealand, classified as a controlled substance, possession or import without special approval is prohibited. European Union, legal status varies, for example, banned in Denmark, Ireland, Poland, and Sweden, permitted in other EU states under supplement regulations. United Kingdom, controlled under the Psychoactive Substances Act of 2016. Kratom in the United States. In the US, kratom is federally legal, but not without ongoing scrutiny. The FDA has expressed concern about kratom's safety, and while the DEA considered scheduling kratom as a controlled substance in 2016, public backlash and scientific input led to a halt in that process. That said, individual states and municipalities have the power to regulate or ban kratom. As of this writing, states where kratom is banned: Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Rhode Island, Vermont, Wisconsin cities, counties with local bans: San Diego, California, Sarasota County, Florida states that have passed the Kratom Consumer Protection Act, KCPA, Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Oklahoma, Utah, Colorado. The KCPA is a model law that aims to regulate kratom responsibly by banning adulterated or contaminated kratom products, requiring proper labeling of alkaloid content, prohibiting sales to minors, mandating lab testing for safety. This legislation seeks to strike a balance, protect consumers without criminalizing access. More states are considering versions of the KCPA, and consumer advocacy has played a key role. Why kratom faces legal pressure. Several forces influence the push to restrict or ban kratom: misuse or misunderstanding by uninformed users, media sensationalism, focusing on rare but dramatic cases. Pharmaceutical industry interests concerned about competition, lack of regulation leading to contaminated or mislabeled products. The issue is not just legality, it's perception. Misinformation about kratom often leads to emotional policy decisions, especially in the absence of standard regulation or consumer education. How to stay informed. Check with advocacy organizations such as the American Kratom Association, aka Botanical Education Alliance. Follow legal updates at the state level. Bills can move quickly. Ask your vendor if they comply with good manufacturing practices, GMP, and are AKA certified. Join the conversation. Online communities, forums, and podcasts can help you stay up to date. What you can do as a consumer. If you believe in the responsible use of kratom, your voice matters. Here's how you can contribute. Support the KCPA in your state. Speak to local lawmakers respectfully. Share your personal story. Education through testimony matters. Buy only from vendors who lab test and advocate for safe use. Educate others without sensationalizing. Looking ahead, the future of kratom law. The future of kratom legality hinges on awareness, advocacy, and responsible behavior by users and vendors alike. A growing number of scientists, doctors, and legislators are beginning to understand that kratom deserves nuanced conversation, not blanket bans. As more research emerges and as consumer standards rise, the hope is that kratom will be seen not through fear, but through facts. In the next chapter, we'll answer the most frequently asked questions from new users and dig deeper into the concerns, curiosities, and common experiences that define the kratom journey. This chapter is dedicated to answering the questions that almost every beginner has when discovering kratom. Whether you're just starting or looking to deepen your understanding, this FAQ covers the practical, the curious, and the cautious. 1. Is kratom addictive? Kratom is not considered addictive in the same way as traditional opioids, but it can be habit-forming if used daily in high doses without breaks. The key is responsible use. Rotate strains, take breaks, and don't exceed your needs. Most experienced users avoid daily use or build regular rest days into their schedule. 2. Will kratom show up on a drug test? Standard drug tests used by employers typically do not screen for kratom or its alkaloids. However, specialized tests can detect mitragynine if specifically targeted. If drug testing is a concern, speak with your employer or healthcare provider for clarity. 3. Can I mix kratom with coffee or CBD? Some users do mix kratom with coffee or CBD, but caution is advised. Kratom and caffeine both stimulate the nervous system, and combining them may increase side effects like jitteriness or nausea. CBD is less likely to interact negatively, but every person reacts differently. Always start with small amounts if experimenting. 4. What's the difference between kratom powder and extract? Kratom powder is the dried ground leaf and is typically 1–2% mitragynine. Extracts are concentrated products with much higher alkaloid content, sometimes 10 times stronger or more. Beginners should stick with plain leaf powder to avoid fast tolerance buildup. 5. Can I use kratom for sleep and still wake up fresh? Some red strains are known to support relaxation and may help with winding down. When taken in moderation, 2 to 3 hours before bed, many users report restful sleep without grogginess the next morning. Effects vary by person, so try on a night when you don't have early commitments. 6. How long does it take to feel kratom's effects? Onset depends on method and body chemistry. Capsules, 30–45 minutes. Powder, toss and wash, 15–30 minutes. Tea, 20–40 minutes. Taking kratom on an empty stomach usually leads to faster onset. Effects may last 3 to 6 hours depending on strain and dose. 7. What are some signs I've taken too much? If you feel dizzy, nauseated, overly sedated, or have an upset stomach, you've likely taken too much. Stay hydrated, rest, and lower your dose next time. Less is more with kratom. 8. Can I build a tolerance to kratom? Yes. Frequent or high-dose use can lead to tolerance, meaning you'll need more to feel the same effects. To prevent this, rotate strains. Take 1-2 rest days per week. Use only when needed, not as a daily habit. 9. Is it safe to travel with kratom? Laws vary by country and even by US state or county. Always research your destination before traveling with kratom. In countries or states where kratom is banned, possession may lead to legal consequences. 10. How do I store kratom properly? Keep kratom in a cool, dark, and dry place, preferably in an airtight container. Exposure to heat, light, or moisture can degrade alkaloid potency over time. 11. Can kratom interact with medications? Yes. Kratom may interact with medications, especially those that affect the liver or nervous system. Consult a healthcare provider if you take any prescription drugs. 12. How do I know if kratom is working for me? Start by setting an intention for each session. Do you want more focus, relief, or relaxation? Journal your experience to see if kratom supports that goal. If it doesn't, reconsider the strain, dose, or whether it fits your needs at all. 13. Can I take kratom every day? Daily use is not recommended for beginners. While some experienced users maintain structured daily routines, most incorporate rest days and keep their dosage consistent. Long-term daily use may increase the risk of tolerance or habit formation. 14. What's the best strain for beginners? Green strains are often recommended for new users due to their balanced effects. Green Malay, Green Borneo, or Green Bali are commonly suggested starting points. 15. How do I talk to others about kratom? Stick to your experience. Be honest, respectful, and avoid making medical claims. Focus on how it supports your well-being and emphasize responsible use. Education happens through stories, not arguments. Final thought. Asking questions is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Kratom is a complex plant, and learning about it empowers you to use it mindfully. In our final chapter, we'll wrap up the journey with a reflection on everything we've covered and a call to move forward with clarity and confidence. You've made it to the end of this guide, an exploration not only of kratom, but of personal choice, curiosity, and self-responsibility. Whether you arrived here with questions, doubts, or just an open mind, you now hold a fuller picture of what kratom is, how it works, how it's used, and the many layers that shape its story, from the farms of Southeast Asia to the living rooms of wellness seekers around the world. Kratom isn't a miracle, and it isn't a menace. It's a plant with real properties, real risks, and real potential. What makes the difference is how you use it, and more importantly, why. If you've read this far, you understand that kratom interacts uniquely with the body and brain. Responsible use is essential to avoid habit formation. Quality and source matter more than brand or buzzwords. Ritual, intention, and moderation create a better experience. The legal and cultural context continues to evolve. Most of all, you've seen that kratom isn't about escaping life. It's about engaging with it more deliberately. For some, it becomes a helpful companion during stress, discomfort, or transitions. For others, it's a part of morning clarity, creative flow, or nightly reflection. You've learned how to choose the right product, start with safe and accurate doses, track and evaluate your body's response, avoid dependency by setting boundaries, advocate for smart regulation and safe access. There's no single path forward, only what's right for you, informed by what you've now come to understand. Maybe you'll try kratom, maybe you'll decide it's not for you. Either way, you'll decide from a place of knowledge. And that's what this guide is really about. Empowerment through education. So, what now? Take what you've learned and explore at your own pace. Share it, question it, revisit it. Stay connected to the evolving science, the shifting legal landscapes, and most importantly, to how you feel in your body and mind. And if you do choose to use kratom, keep it simple, keep it intentional, keep it respectful to your body, to the plant, and to the communities that have used it long before the rest of the world took notice. Your journey is yours. Let knowledge guide it. Thank you for allowing this guide to be part of your first steps. Here's to wisdom, well-being, and walking your path with clarity and care.